This is the 10th year for Blue Zoo TV, presented by Ikari, featuring Fluval. We're down in Homosassa, Florida. We're going to do some really cool things with some really cool people. We're also going to spend some time with Mike Drawdy from Imperial Tropicals at his fish farm and do some collecting. This is Mike Drawdy. And Mike, we're doing some airboating today and some scalloping. Explain that.
Yeah, so we're going to go out airboating, hopefully get it up and close with nature. It's a beautiful wildlife preserve here, so hopefully we see some dolphins and some other really cool birds, some nice fish. Awesome.
So after scalloping, we're going to go one way, and our man Christian, you're heading to Rainbow River?
Yes, sir. Hopefully we're gonna go to Rainbow River. That is one of the most beautiful natural springs in this area. We're gonna go snorkeling to see some beautiful freshwater wildlife. What kind of fish we're expecting to see?
We're probably going to see a lot of the fish that are natural to that area. I would expect to see mullet, largemouth bass. There should be brim, bluegill species, bluefin killifish, all types of other amazing fish in their natural habitat.
Christian's also an expert free diver, so we're going to utilize him on some other stuff with Blue Zoo TV. This is the first time we're really tag teaming something. You should tag along. Ta-da!
All right, everybody, headphones on. Check. This is Captain Bruce from River Safaris. Let's go for an airboat ride. Okay, well, leaving the dock here in Homosassa, the canal that we're on, if you were looking back of the boat, goes up to what they call the Old Mill Tavern now, but back before the Civil War, there was a guy that came down, he had 5,000 acres of sugarcane planted about halfway down the Homosassa River, and he needed a way to get it up to the mill, and so, unfortunately, he had slaves dig it by hand. Very horrible conditions, I'm sure, dig a canal, and that way he could float barges full of the raw cane up there and grind it up, and then off it went. Right in front of us is a little island with a lighthouse on it. He named it Monkey Alcatraz because the monkeys evidently don't like to swim, and so they stay on the island. They're really well taken care of. They get fed twice a day, fresh produce, but they're very happy out here. Once I hit the no-wake zone, I've got 500 horsepower on back of me, and it'll jump up and go, and we're going to take a left off the river into a place we call Battle Creek, which is a pretty interesting little jaunt through the sawgrass. It's a lot of fun because you can slide the boat around the corners. You got to be careful and look out for other boaters, but I can see pretty well from where I am, and I always err on the side of caution. But airboats are unique in the fact that they're kind of like an airplane and a boat put together. When you go around the corners, if you get it right, they break loose and slide. It's just a great exhilarating feeling to go around the corner sideways. But usually, I like to watch people hold on. If they're not holding on, I'm not doing my job. And it's quite beautiful. The habitat here is all natural. Nothing was man-made out here. Then we're going to go through, across the Homosassa River once again, and go into what is the start of Sam's Bayou. And the corners there are pretty, but mostly this is the ecological part where we get to see what old Florida really looked like and still does in many places. The west coast of Florida is still, by and large, very beautiful. And this bayou is about a mile to the north of the Homosassa River, and there's several houses, more than you would think. You have to look hard to see some of them.
This guy's totally off the grid. He has no power or nothing. He's there on his own. The Homosassa River, the main river, is about a mile that way. And back in the 60s, they built a restaurant at the end of it. And they ran power to it, which had to be hugely expensive. But so the people that have houses on the river, which are boat access only, they have power and cable if you care to have that. And so they're not off the grid. This gentleman's off the grid. That house back there is off the grid. There's several more that we went by that you probably didn't notice. You'll see docks like that one in the sun, and there won't be a house there. Well, many of the houses either got taken out by storms, rotted away, but a lot of them got hit by lightning and burned. The lightning in the thunderstorms in Citrus County can be quite extreme, as it all over Florida. But here, I've never seen lightning like here. This guy built his house up that high, in my estimation. Number one, water will easily go over that island in the proper storm. You get a west wind, rising tide, springs trying to put water out, the water can come up within several hours and cover that island. You get the right hard west wind will do it. But he probably could have got away with the first story. I believe he put it up in the air because, number one, the view is awesome. I can see that house from the Gulf of Mexico, which means he can see me. I actually use that roof as a landmark sometimes. And the breeze is much better up there and less bugs. If you'll notice, he's got, see how his ladder is lifted in the air? His staircase? When he leaves, he hits a button and it goes whoop, like at a castle. So it's kind of innovative. The people that build houses out here come up with all different ways to get, and he's got water in that white tank that you see there. That's his cistern, and he pulls it off the roof. So, you know, he's off the grid and he's doing great.
When you get up to in the middle part of the bayou, the fishing's excellent. Redfish, trout, mullet, all kinds of shellfish. All the inhabitants of Florida always had plenty to eat over in this area. The water is sometimes very fresh. Anymore, the demands on the aquifer have made it more salty. But it's still a very diverse place. These islands out here are called the St. Martin Keys, and the water around them is crystal clear, not like in the river where it's kind of a brownish color. And you can sight fish out here, and the birds use it because the pelicans, the cormorants, and to a great extent the frigate birds, all of which you'll see in the trees or flying alongside the boat, they eat out here, and they nest in the trees because there's no predators out there. There's no fresh water. Frigate birds only nest on islands that are made of red mangroves, and red mangroves only grow in salt water. So the absence of fresh water gives them a real safe place to be. The birds that are flying at more of an altitude, the soaring birds that you can see are frigate birds, and they come here every summer from Argentina to beat the cold. Well, another great day on the river, skimming along at 40 to 50 miles an hour. It's always a blast. It's one of the best things ever. This is Captain Bruce from River Safari signing off.
Blue Zoo TV is presented by Hikari, making species-specific diets long before it was fashionable, because at Hikari, we know it matters. And featuring Fluval, discover life below water with Fluval. Blue Zoo is proudly partnered with Carib Sea, bringing science to life. Nature protected, nature perfected with Carib Sea. To email the show, go to bluezootv.com and follow us on Twitter @BlueZooTV.